Okay. We're going to be starting in 1 minute. We're just playing our opening.
Okay.
Hey, everybody.
That was weird. I heard it, but... Is it there? Okay.
Hey, everybody, this is Bob Torty from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Also, Mr. Downtown from That Thing You Do and The Pharaoh from Joseph. And you're listening to the DJ Jan. Dog it. So close. Let me do that again. So close.
That was like the best thing ever. I didn't want to say anything.
Hey, everybody, this is Bob Torty from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Also, Mr. Downtown from That Thing You Do and The Pharaoh from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. You are listening to the DJ DANI Show. Let me do that again. That was terrible. One more. Sorry.
You're fine.
Hey, everybody, this is Bob Torty from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Also, Mr. Downtown and That Thing You Do. She's the man. Sweet Life. One more time. I'm trying to go over my resume in my head.
You said she's the man. Sweet Life. God.
There you go.
I love it.
Okay, here we go. Hey, everybody, it's Bob Torty. Zach from Sweet Life. No, not Zach. I played Kurt. Never mind. I hope you have enough tape on that end.
It's bloopers.
Okay, good. Okay, here's the real one. This one is going to be money.
Going for the gold.
This one's going to be money. Okay. Hey, everybody, this is Bob Torty, Kurt from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Also, Mr. Downtown from That Thing You Do, and you are listening to the DJ DANI Show.
Perfect. Now Hamilton Radio. Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, June 16th, 2020. Welcome to the DJ DANI Show on HamiltonRadio.net stream, HR2. I'm your host, DJ DANI. And everybody that's tuning in as well, for my guest that I previously was supposed to have on my show, we actually rescheduled, was David Merlin. And you guys are going to be extremely excited to hear this interview today for all the amazing things that he does. I believe, David, you are a man of mystery. I want to know what's next.
Say that again?
No, I mean, after the interview and everything, I just want to know what's next with you because you're doing everything and it's so amazing and exciting. It's so many different hats you wear.
Yeah, well, of course, I got my start in music. I was a rock musician.
Okay.
I was a drummer and I also played guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I was a big Van Halen fan.
Ooh,
I was
okay.
kind of the 80s rock kind of person. So that's what got me wanting to be on stage is
I love
to actually just be a rock star.
You were in a band, right?
Yeah, I was actually playing in bands from the time I was about 15 years old and probably playing in bars when I was 17 years old.
Okay, so 15 to 17. And were you ever, because you said you were in the back, right? Were you bass? Or no, you were in the front?
I was a drummer when I was playing in the bands, but of course I can play guitar and drums equally as well. But back in the day, I was a drummer.
Okay, so you were in the back being a drummer. But you also played guitar. Did you play bass in any of the bands?
No. It was always drums on stage. I used to play these big, gigantic drum kits with double bass drums and probably 8 tom-toms and probably 6, 7 cymbals. So it was a big, big setup.
That is... Wow. So let's go a little bit into learning drums. Did you teach yourself? Did you have a teacher?
Did I have a teacher? I was pretty much self-taught.
Okay, you self-taught yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah.
How exactly? What did you do? Did you just try to like dabble into, hitting things like the drums and then wait for a good beat, or like what exactly did you do when you were younger?
Well, I actually started on guitar first, and I would sit in my room and play the records on, on the turntable, and I'd listen to bands like AC/DC and Van Halen, and people like that, and I would just kind of learn the songs on my own. My dad was like a country guitar player. I mean, he was friends with a lot of big stars in Nashville back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
And
Amazing.
so he taught me, basic chords, but I wasn't a country music guy. I liked the rock, so I'd sit in my room and just kind of learn these songs. And then I got interested in drums and eventually bought a drum kit as well. And I kind of excelled at drums. I was probably better at drums than guitar, and I was pretty good at guitar.
Okay.
But then I had a passion for drums for many, many years.
Yeah, where you feel like it was growing, like the love for the drums.
Yeah. I loved playing, and then of course as a hobby, I'd still play guitar. But yeah, I did that probably through early 20s, playing with bands.
I love that.
And
Now, with your bands, David, how did you get interested in them? Was it like friends from school?
Yeah. I'm from a small town called Sylacauga, Alabama.
Okay.
We've got about a population maybe 13,000. It's the home of Jim Neighbors of Gomer Pyle. If we have any Andy Griffith Show fans out there.
I know what the show is, but I've never heard of that. Is that a line in the movie, the show?
The Andy Griffith Show is probably like one of the biggest syndicated television shows in history. So, but anyway, we're also we have the whitest, purest marble in the world mined here. And it's also the only place on Earth a person's ever been hit by a meteorite.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so that's
Wow.
what we're known for here. But yeah, I started playing with, people from school. And our class president, he's a great, great keyboard player. And his dad was band director of the high school. And his dad was band director of the high school before him. And then my friend David, who was our keyboard player, he went on to be band director of Sylacauga High School, so it was kind of in their blood. And but I started kind of drifting away from music professionally when I discovered magic, and that became kind of a passion.
I was going to say, so going back from playing the drums and everything, did you ever play them? Well, you played them for people live. Did you ever do like bars or small venues?
Yeah, we played. Of course, we played like school dances first, and like the openings for like supermarkets or wherever. And we got into the bar scene, playing those. I mean, we were very young to play in a bar. I don't think you can do that nowadays. But
no, you cannot. Well,
we played a lot of fraternity parties.
Okay.
So that was a lot of fun.
That's a huge start, though. That's exposure for you guys.
Yeah, and of course David, our keyboard player, he went on to play with other bands. He kept going, and their singer that they had at the time after us, his name was Buck Johnson. He's from Birmingham, and he's actually the keyboard player for Aerosmith right now.
Oh my God! Oh wow, that's amazing. Aerosmith?
Yeah. He's the keyboard player, and he's the background harmony vocalist for Steven Tyler. So.
Do you see what happens when you put a lot of hard work into things? You really can make it your dream. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. You got to want it. You got to go after it. That's for sure.
Oh, through all consequences.
Yeah. I've always went after everything 100%. I never slacked at anything. So if I was going to be good at something, I was really going to put the time in to practice. And that's what it was with music. And then, of course, later on when I got into the magic, I started doing close-up magic as a hobby.
Oh, I love that. Yes, with like cards and stuff, right?
I didn't do the cards so much. Everybody else was doing card magic, and I kind of stayed away from that because I wanted to be different. And I did the close-up magic for a couple of years, and started out doing birthday parties and different things like that. And then I started getting into more of the big stage illusions because I had saw David Copperfield on television and said, wow, now that's what I would like to do. I mean, he's putting girls in boxes and cutting them in pieces. I said that,
and putting them back
that's
together.
of great interest to me. Yeah.
I wanted to know a little bit from you doing the musician to everything that you wanted, for being like a person that was in the band, you played the drums. Where then did you feel like, because you were said 15 to 17, did you feel like after the drums, like it wasn't enough for you, like you wanted to do something else, and that's how you got into magic, or where did the transition
Well,
kind of happen?
well, now actually, I mean, from 15, I started playing bars at 17, but I kept on playing music for probably my early 20s. I probably played, so I would say about 24.
Okay.
And then I just kind of, I don't know, I got burnt out on it
Mm-hmm.
and just wanted to do something different. And that's where it kind of started transitioning into magic. And I think a big part of that was because there were so many talented musicians when I was coming up. And of course, to make it in the music industry, the competition is so great. Um, so I thought, in magic, there's not going to be near the competition,
No, it's
you
different.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's one of the reasons I got into it. And of course, I love the visual effects on stage, to make these miracles happen. That was amazing to me.
It's amazing to watch. I mean, just being an audience member or a family member, to know that you have somebody that's in the what they want to do and they're all for it. And it's also more fun when having a family member into doing a lot of illusions as what you're doing, and maybe you have your family participate or do the tricks and stuff like you do before you do it on stage. So we
Well,
get an idea of it.
none of my family's involved in it. They just love to watch.
Oh, they're not allowed to see until the.
Oh, you mean to see what I'm doing behind the scenes?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, to practice. Like, if you need an audience or
Oh, yeah,
someone
yeah,
to
yeah,
practice with.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
don't
yeah,
give them
exactly. Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, you never do
That's how
that.
I started.
Okay.
Family and friends, I would test things in front of them, and of course I had carpentry skills and cabinet maker skills, and that's when I was able to design and build my own props.
Okay, so you
So,
also did construction work. Well, carpenter work.
well, I actually, when I was younger, I worked in a cabinet shop, and I caught under that kind of stuff very quickly, and that transitioned into building the illusions,
Mm-hmm.
and
And sets.
which everybody can't do that because you've got to think so technically with the way these things are constructed. And I was just able to see things in a photograph or see things on stage, and I have this photogenic memory, and I was able to see it and go back and kind of just draw it on a piece of paper and build it. And I've been able to do that, up until today. I can build pretty much anything.
I love that. I love that you have a photographic memory, and that probably helps a lot with you doing your illusions.
Yeah, yeah. To be able to remember everything, it's quite difficult.
Yeah. Is it stressful? Is it frustrating? Is there ever a time, David, where you want to build? I'm not quite sure if you build your sets as well, but you said your illusions, where you build something and it doesn't come out to be what you want it to be.
There's been times that I've built something that I thought was going to be just a great effect on stage,
Mm-hmm.
and it might would just be okay. And so I would usually turn around and sell that piece off and build something different. And that's happened many times where something is not quite what I want it to be. It can still be a great trick for a certain magician, but it doesn't quite fit in my show.
Yeah.
So I'll eliminate it and do something else. And which I've built illusions. I've probably built over 100 illusions, and probably built over, I'd say, 70 to 80 for people worldwide.
That's amazing. And I was going to say, a lot of them, because you build it for other people as yourself, do a lot of people buy them from you, or can they buy them from you if you built them?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I had just been on some trips, and I was selling off some older illusions that I don't use anymore. So I was up in Connecticut,
Mm-hmm.
and I had 2 trips out to New Mexico to a doctor that's actually got involved in magic. And so he's got some of my props now. But yeah, I used to just develop things for people. They wanted something specific, and I would draw it out and build it for them. I've built things for people in Germany, Japan, Saudi Arabia, all over Asia. I mean, everywhere, and in the United States,
Well,
Alaska.
where would be the furthest that you would travel? Because I don't know if you would travel to Saudi Arabia. You would
Oh,
ship that.
oh well, as far as performing, I've been worldwide. I've been just about everywhere. But now delivering illusions, that's just kind of here
Yes.
recently.
Okay.
Because of this COVID-19 situation, I've had a lot of free time on my hand for the first time in many, many years. So I just like to get out and do road trips, and I thought instead of shipping it, I'm just going to take it out there and show them how it works.
I think it's really exciting, that even though you have free time, you're also trying to help others that are maybe trying to be magician just as yourself, or maybe they're getting into illusionist. So it's amazing that you actually would travel that distance, to just deliver an illusion versus shipping it out. Does it also cost more expensive to ship it out? I guess it depends how big it is, right?
Yeah, shipping can be pretty expensive, especially
Okay.
when you got to crate it up or put it in a flight case or whatever. So sometimes it's a little cheaper, especially with the way the gas prices are nowadays, to just travel. But now I've got to rebuild a few things for myself and some things that's coming up. But yeah, I'm hoping the traveling's over just for a little bit.
You need some time for yourself, definitely.
Yeah, I've went about 7,500 miles in the last 2 weeks, so
Whew.
I've got to get some stuff rebuilt. But yeah, back in the past, I used to do the cruise ship market, and I've been in Asia one time. I think I was there almost 2 straight years without coming home.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I did the Bahama cruises, the Alaska cruises.
Beautiful.
I was in Asia. I was in Hong Kong. I was in Taiwan, Japan, South Korea, and then I was in Thailand, which was probably my favorite because it's warm year round and warm water and these islands with coconuts everywhere. And I've also been to Bora Bora and Tahiti. So I've been fortunate that I've been able to travel to all these places. And I started in the cruise ship market, I think it was in 2000. And that was right before I was performing in San Diego for the Acura car show. And then I was approached by the producer of this big show we were putting on there at the convention center.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a project he was going to be doing for Universal Studios. And he asked me if I could give him a hand. And I said, I don't know, what's the project? And he said, well, we're going to be pushing this idea for a theme attraction for some books that are out that are going to turn into movies.
Oh.
And he said there are 3 books, and there's going to be another one coming out in the summer. And he said it has to do with magic and wizardry. And I said, what is it? And he said, well, it's about someone named Harry Potter. And I said, well, I've never heard of it. And at the time, this was in 2000, I had not heard of it.
Okay.
So I had about 3.5 weeks to put together this big presentation to Universal Hollywood and Warner Brothers executives and DreamWorks. And at the time, Steven Spielberg was going to be doing the Harry Potter movies, and he was supposed to have been at the presentation. And I think it was just about a week prior, he had some kind of emergency surgery, and he wasn't able to be there. So I was kind of disappointed about that because I wanted to meet Spielberg. But yeah, so I was the one who actually first helped present the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
That's amazing.
And then
is that Disneyland?
I thought nothing would ever come of it, but now it's probably the biggest theme attraction in the world.
Was that Disneyland, David, or Florida?
It's in Universal Orlando and also in Universal Hollywood.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Japan. I wouldn't be surprised if they're expanding it there too.
Well, which one were you a part of? Were you just a part of Universal? Like, was it the one in Florida that you went to, or the one in?
what it was is that we were pitching the idea
Okay.
for them to build the attraction at both Universal and Orlando.
Oh, okay.
And so I had to make all these magical things happen around the producer that was presenting this. And so we were working 16 hours a day for 3.5 weeks to get this thing put together. And I even had to get another illusion builder to help, to pull it all together in time.
To make it so extravagant and exciting, where the person's just like, yes, let's build this, let's do this. Well,
yeah, but and of course, for many years, I thought, well, nothing's going to happen with it, even though the movies came out and they were getting real popular. But then, of course, it did happen. And, I mean, Harry Potter is probably one of the biggest movie franchises and the biggest theme attraction
hopefully, David,
there ever was.
Hopefully, David, you've seen the movies, or if you've been to the attraction. No?
Oh yeah, I've been to the attractions many times.
It's beautiful.
I've seen all the movies, so I'm a big fan of Harry Potter now.
Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. I was going to say, I've been to the one in California. That was 2 years ago. And I actually got picked to be, well, where Harry Potter gets picked in the scene for the wand. They chose me, and it was pretty exciting.
Yeah, I haven't been to the California one, but of course they're at Universal Orlando. They've got the park on two different sides, at Islands of Adventure and at Universal.
Ooh.
And you have to take the Hogwarts Express from one to the other. And there's three different Harry Potter attractions there. The Hagrid ride, oh my gosh, and the ride inside the Castle Forbidden Journey, and then there's Escape from Gringotts. And they're all three just wonderful.
I've never been to Florida. I've only been to California. And I think there was one ride where it was just spinning us in a circle or whatever through the attraction of Harry Potter. And it stopped in front of a huge spider. And I was like, I cannot do this right now.
Yeah, that would probably be the Forbidden Journey inside the castle.
I think that was, yep. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to definitely go to Orlando because they've got all three rides. I don't know if they just got the one in California. I'm not sure. But the one in Universal Orlando's, it's great.
Yeah, because I'm going to say when I went there, they were talking about the Express, like the Hogwarts Express, but they weren't building one or anything. They just had one for show for people to take pictures on. Everybody was talking about the one in Florida, I believe, there where you could like ride it or something like that.
Yeah, in Orlando, it's pretty neat. You go in the Gringotts Diagon Alley and go outside, and then they've got what they call King's Cross, where you get on the Hogwarts Express, and you have so many to a little cabin.
Oh, that's exciting.
Things happen, like you're looking out the window, like you're leaving London and going to Hogwarts, and then things are outside of your doorway on the train. So it's pretty neat.
That is really neat. Wow. Oh my gosh. I feel like, with you being with all your illusions and stuff like that, when you're out with a crowd, you have like couple hundreds of people, what is the first illusion that you like to do to the crowd to get it pumped, to get started? And why? What's your favorite illusion?
Well, as far as being on stage,
Mm-hmm.
I would say in my show, one of the illusions that I did on America's Got Talent is probably my favorite, where I actually self-levitate. I jump into a shipping crate and fly up into the air and start rotating. So that's probably my favorite. And I also, instead of cutting an assistant in half,
Mm-hmm.
I actually divide myself in half. That's probably my second favorite.
Okay, that is pretty amazing. Wow. How does that even... Oh, wait. Is that what Psycho Johnny did? Was it Psycho Jack?
Oh, the character
that you played
when I was on America's Got Talent.
Yes.
They actually showed me the first season, and they wanted me on the show, but I had a cruise ship contract, and I couldn't go shoot. I couldn't shoot any more footage for them. So, but they did just show me a quick glance in the first season. But later on, they wanted me to create some type of a character, a magical character.
Mm-hmm.
And So I came up with the idea of this kind of hideous-looking, creepy, like man creature that wears orange, and I called him Psycho Jack.
Yes,
And
but
there's some videos of it on YouTube.
is he based off of someone,
But
David? Like, did you create him
the,
from like a scary movie or something? Here's
I
Johnny or anything?
I kind of combined kind of the Joker, kind of the Jack Nicholson Joker from
Okay,
Batman,
Jack Nicholson.
and kind of gave him the voice of like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead.
Okay, I've never seen that show. Everybody talks
uh,
about it.
uh,
Holy cow.
okay, the
So
people
I didn't know
listening,
the voice.
they probably know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But yeah, they just wanted a funny, creepy character that could come on there and do really great, and then come back and not do so great. So the little hidden secret about America's Got Talent, it's very staged.
Yes, I believe
Um,
that. I feel like I've witnessed it. Like I've seen it on TV and I'm like, this looks like there's some that they've allowed versus not. But it sucks because some of the people that are super talented sometimes don't even get through either. So that bothers me.
yeah. It's very staged and set up. They can pick and choose of who they want ahead of time, and I've heard stories of people signing contracts to like actually go to the live rounds or the semifinals.
Okay.
Before even
Yeah,
not
before.
even being judged.
Really?
Um, yeah.
How the heck's that even work?
So,
Okay.
so
New to me.
but they just wanted the character to just for laughs. So I created it for them, and then they wanted me to take off the mask and reveal myself. And I said, well, if you're wanting me to do bad, I'm not going to reveal myself because I don't want to, mess up my career or something.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we understand that. And so they said, can you just peel it off, but kind of we don't see who you are. And I said, I'll agree to that. So it's
Well,
just one of those things where it's a TV show. That's the way you have to look at it. It's show business. It's not,
it's entertaining.
it's not it's not what everybody thinks. And it makes you think even like the phone vote in, call-ins or, who gets to see that actually? I mean,
What's real
nobody
versus...
really sees that. I mean, so the executive producer pretty much makes the calls of what's going to happen on that show.
Well, I wanted to
It's
ask
just,
David real quick. I know you said that you were contacted from America's Got Talent, but besides them contacting you and you going on the show, did you have to go through any audition processing, or was it just you were on the show, and you did that one reel?
uh,
Like,
they of course they asked me what could I do, what could I create for them, and
okay,
I'd already had the illusion where I levitate myself in the crate.
that's
And
amazing.
then I showed them pictures of the character that I had created, and they loved it. And they said, "Do you have any footage with doing something with that character?" And I said, "No, because it's brand new." I said, "There's nothing." And they said, "Is there a way you can shoot some video like really quick and have it to us tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try. It'll be just really rough. I can't get to a stage or anything." They said, "It doesn't matter. Just go outside, shoot it in the driveway." So me and a friend went out and I did it right in front of a garage door, and they saw it, and all the producers loved it. And the next morning I was getting calls.
Okay,
And
so that was your audition process.
5 days later I was in New York City and performing at Madison Square Garden.
That's amazing, though, and you got to perform in front of the amazing judges. I love Howie Mandel, so it's really exciting. You was it Howard Stern too?
Yeah, Howard
Howard
Stern
on it?
actually even put my face on his iPad and compared Howie to me.
I didn't see that reel. You didn't send me that. I have to YouTube more. I love that. That's something Howard would do.
Yeah, Howard loved the character. I remember he walked backstage one time, and there's all these acts everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was the only person he acknowledged and said my name.
Did your real
So
name? Like you, right? Or your character's name?
the character, because
Okay.
Howard never really knew who I was.
That's why
But,
I was. Yeah, I didn't know what you meant by that. I was like, he knows you as
but
David. That's exciting.
yeah, he just called me by Jack, and So, but I've did national television stuff before in the past. With I used to work with the world's top fire artist Ray Wald, he's in Cirque du Soleil's O Show at the Bellagio Hotel in Las Vegas, and he's been
Bellagio,
with it
yes.
since '98. And me and Ray had been on the David Letterman show together.
Yeah, that's right. We're David Letterman. Yeah, that's amazing. Did he reach out to you? How did you get on the show?
Ray had been on the show first, and then Ray wanted me to come work with him because he does this insane fire act, but he wanted to add magic and special effects to it just to make it even more spectacular. So I started working with Ray, and I actually reached out to the Letterman show.
David Letterman.
And I had a contact, and the next thing you know, I'm talking to the executive producer every day, and then we're back on there, pretty quickly.
That's super. That's like exciting and outstanding. I mean, were you ever? I hope you were like oblivious with all these moments, like they were so exciting and
Well,
speechless.
Well, yeah, it was kind of strange when I moved to San Diego in '95.
Mm-hmm.
I was, I'm from a very small town in Alabama, and I'd never really been exposed to celebrities or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, we're on the Letterman show. We're doing halftime shows for big NBA basketball games and college basketball games and big hockey halftime shows, other international television shows, Comic Relief at Hollywood. We were doing all kind of crazy stuff, and we'd meet celebrities. And
wow.
when I'm at Comic Relief, I'm just sitting next to John Goodman and Dan Aykroyd in a green room, and
John
it's just
Goodman.
you can't believe, you get thrust into this, and you can't believe where you are. It's almost like surreal.
It is. I mean, that's how it felt, definitely. Well, hold your thought. We're going to take a quick break real quick, David. So we'll be right back to the DJ Danny Show on HamiltonRadio.net, stream HR2 with David Merlin. When we come back, we'll find out more about Psycho Jack, for everyone knows as on America's Got Talent, and just all his illusions and everything else that he's been doing. He has some ventriloquism he's been working on as well. Tune in.
Waking you up with more music.
Hello, you're listening to the DJ Danny Show from 6:30 EST to 7:45 on Tuesday nights.
Recently, we had celebrities from Freeform, Netflix, T-Neck, Nickelodeon, and Disney Channel.
Never know who the next guest will be.
All right, we are back to the DJ Danny Show on HamiltonRadio.net, stream HR2 with David Merlin. So, David, when we just took a quick break, we found out, that you've played this amazing character on America's Got Talent that so many people know you for, versus you being a huge musician, an illusionist, and so many more hats that you carry on. We know you as Psycho Jack from America's Got Talent. Now, we also know you as an amazing magician, and your illusionist is incredible. I've seen some stuff as what you sent me, previous to this interview. But like I was saying before and off air, you need to come to New Jersey, especially when you're, coming up with your what you have working on with Butch Patrick. And I just want to see you live. I think it's so exciting to see magician live. I love watching the tricks, the interaction, everything. It's different, and it's just, I love the interaction.
Yeah, well, the new show is going to be, it's different. I've always been kind of fascinated by the world of the paranormal, and
I love that.
With like UFOs and ghosts, anything like that. I've always been fascinated by it, and I'm actually friends with the Warren family, or the Spira family, up in Connecticut, and some of you might know that name because the Warrens is the movie The Conjuring and Annabelle.
Yes.
All that stuff from the Conjuring universe is based on Ed and Lorraine Warren. And my friend Tony is married to Judy Warren. That was their daughter. So the last Annabelle movie was about Judy. And Tony and Judy have the occult museum there, which is featured in all the Conjuring movies, and they actually own the real Annabelle.
I still can't believe that Annabelle is Raggedy Ann. Like, that was hard for me to believe when you sent that to me, because I've only known Annabelle for being, Annabelle from in movies. The little, like a little doll. A little American Girl doll.
More of a creepy doll that they put on in the movies, but that's Hollywood. Hollywood always changes things.
Yes.
And,
but I don't
which,
know why
when you go in the museum, really, I mean, the Raggedy Ann in that setting is really creepy looking.
The picture you sent me, I was like, wait, what? That's Raggedy Ann. That's Annabelle?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and there's been a lot of celebrities go in there. Demi Lovato's been in there. There's tons of people because they're fascinated with it.
Yeah.
So I had become friends with Tony. He's a real great guy. And then for years, I had been wanting to change my show over to something more paranormal, where I'd kind of deal with telekinesis, like moving objects with my mind, mentalism, mind reading, the clairvoyant stuff with the ghost. So my whole new theme is David Merlin, the Paranormalist. And it's getting really, really good reviews.
I like that. I mean, it has an amazing swing to it. It's super exciting that you want to, you like working with ghosts, or, and definitely like incorporating them in your routine. I wanted to ask you, though, when you said UFOs exactly, how do you refer that into your act?
Well, repeat that one for me.
Yeah, no problem. You mentioned UFOs a little earlier. I wanted to know, how do you refer that into your act?
The UFOs, not so much in the act.
Okay.
It's mostly to do with ghosts and the mind reading and the moving the objects. The telekinesis, and, sending thoughts from one person to another. And of course, in my show, I tell people that I don't claim to have any supernatural abilities. I let them be the judge of that and draw their own conclusions. But some of the things that I do, just from one person to another that I've never met in my entire life, and can tell them things that they're thinking, it's to see people's faces and the way they react.
The reaction.
I mean, that's pretty amazing, because I've been doing illusions for so long, these big spectacles on stage, but just to be able to stand there and do things with someone's thoughts, now that takes it to a whole new realm. But so I mix the things together, so they're seeing something like that, where it's more of a psychological thing, and then the next thing I'm doing is a big illusion. So it's mixed up all throughout the show, and that's what makes it so fun for me now.
No, I honestly really like that. I love how it's super interactive, and it's just easy and maneuverable for yourself. I mean, I still want to know exactly where you kind of felt to trying to get ghosts involved, like where with you learning all the, doing the magician, and you were doing a lot of illusionists, did you want to become a paranormalist?
Well, I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to be like a David Copperfield. He was kind of my inspiration of magic. But then I started wanting to have my own identity.
Okay.
And then, of course, with my the passion for the unexplainable things, I wanted to mix that in with the illusions. Just I don't know, to make it different, because I don't think there's really anybody out there doing what I'm doing right now. And that recently kind of captured the attention of Butch Patrick, and a lot of you might know that name because Butch Patrick played Eddie Munster on the big successful television show The Munsters.
The Munsters.
And The Munsters came out in 1964. So Butch is 66 now, but he's like the Energizer Bunny. He's still on the go, all the time. And so we have decided that we're going to do a traveling show together, and we're probably going to call it Munster and Merlin Magic Roadshow.
I love it. And you're coming to New Jersey, right? Because you
hopefully we will. But the show is going to be really, really unique, because right now, of course, we can't do any theater shows.
Yes.
Because of the virus. So that's kind of a pain, and none of the people in the entertainment world are doing anything right now because of it.
It's
So
super
Butch and
frustrating.
I have decided that we're going to take something out so that we can do outside, and he has converted this 34-foot long trailer into half of it is an escape room. So you people out there that love these escape rooms that are all over the country, well, Butch has made a monster escape room that's called 1313 Mockingbird Maze. And
Oh my goodness.
the other half, it stores the Munster Mobile coach that you might remember on the television show. So he's going to have that so he can put it out and people can do photo ops. He's even going to take people on rides in it. And then we're also going to have one of my creations is going to be the Munsters creature. And people get to go inside a trailer and see this amazing creature. That's all I can say right now.
No,
but,
I know it's definitely in the works. But what do you mean by?
I did it in the past, and people are not sure if it's real, if it's illusion, if it's mechanical, if it's some kind of CG projection. It's unbelievable. And it's going to be a part of it, and also people that were fans of the show. Eddie Munster had a doll, and it was a werewolf doll that was called Wolf Wolf. So Wolf Wolf is going to also be a part of it. And then
my dad said
when we're
Wolfie?
able to do the live shows, what's going to happen is we'll go into these towns and we'll set up at wherever we got sponsorship with with the big trailers that people get to do this stuff outside. Then we're going to go into auditoriums and do our Munster and Merlin show, which is probably going to kick off with it's going to have the Munster car coach out there. We're going to have probably the Munster Go Home movie playing first, and then my show, and then following my show, all the people that were fans of the Munsters. As a matter of fact, Butch is actually going to interact with me during my show, so we're going to have some Munster-related illusions in the show.
That. Oh.
And afterwards, Butch is going to come out on stage, and he's going to talk about the show, and then he's going to take questions and answers from everybody. And then following that, then we're going to do like VIP photo op and autograph sessions.
Ooh.
And you get to meet us, up close and personal and talk to us. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be probably like a 3-hour experience, just for the night shows that we do in auditoriums or theaters.
I love that. That's amazing. That's outstanding. And this is coming still to this year? Are you postponing it to next year, or you're just waiting on what's opening up?
Well, as far as like the escape room and the creature and the Munster Mobile and like photo ops and autograph sessions with Butch and stuff, we're going to try to start doing that this summer.
Okay.
And then we're going to let it slowly evolve to where we can do the shows in the theaters as soon as we got the green light again.
Yeah,
and that could that might be 2021. We just don't know yet.
Hey, don't say that. Think positive. It might be the end of summer.
I'm ready right now. And
I know.
Is ready. I mean, he's out in California, and he's just dying to get back out on the road again.
Yeah.
And because we're both people that love to travel and love to entertain people, and he's if you're a Munster fan, he's such a great guy, and he's so personal with people, and he really loves the fans.
I love that.
Because I've been to some of these cons before,
mm-hmm.
and they have lots of celebrities, and some of those people are just there to make some quick money and take a picture, sign something.
That's why I don't meet them.
And they charge these outrageous prices to take pictures with them and all this. And Butch, he's not like that at all. I mean, to take a photo and get an autographed picture from Butch, I think it's like $20.
Oh, that's
he does that because he wants the people to walk away with a great experience, because he just really respects all the people that were fans of his.
My dad is
and
a
that's
fan.
not the case with a lot of celebrities I found.
Yeah. No,
I mean, there's some good ones out there, and I've met some good ones, and he's one of the good guys.
He definitely seems it. And you both seem like you have a great connection too. Like the way that you're talking about him is like he's one of your good friends. Like you guys are close.
Yeah, well, it's weird. We just kind of came friends here pretty, it's been just a few weeks.
Oh.
And we met through my friend John Peasy, who is a really great ventriloquist. And you need to definitely have him on the show. He's a comedian, ventriloquist. He knows a lot of people in the industry. And he's also out of New Jersey.
Wait, I'm sorry, who was that again?
He has a podcast that he's doing, and that's how me and Butch kind of hooked up, is because I was a Munsters fan, and when Butch was on, I asked a couple of questions, and being that John knew me, he kind of threw my questions out there. And then Butch was talking about he might do something in Nashville with some people later on. And it was going to be some people that I actually had been talking to about doing something with possibly in the future. So we just kind of made a connection that way. And then before you know it, Butch is calling me back and saying, we should do something together, on the road. I think this would be a great idea.
Go on, Doc G.
And I said, yeah, I think that we really got something here, something unique that nobody else is doing.
Hey, David, how you doing? This is Doc G, Danielle's dad. Nice to meet you. I personally know John. I met John a couple of years ago at a comedy event for a friend, Joseph Anthony, another comedian. And John was an unbelievably great guy, wonderful, talented, good friend. And I think was on a couple of the shows that comedy shows that we had here hosted on Hamilton Radio a couple of years ago. One was a Craig Lloydron show, and another one was maybe Joseph Anthony, and a couple other shows that we had. We had a lot of comedians on here. So yeah, John's a great guy. He's a good friend of ours.
Yeah, John, he's great, and he is so super talented. I mean, he really is, and just a good human being. And he's really good friends with Jackie the Joke Man that was on the Stern show. Jackie's on John's show. I think about every week they get together and do a podcast.
Yeah, I went on there once or twice, but I haven't been on there since. But that's good. I'm glad that at least people are finding ways to get around that. And that's something else, David, I was going to tell you is what we do here is we are usually virtually using virtual for people to get out and get on our fan base of over 50 million listeners and people that like what we do. Also, we had Eddie Munster on years and years ago, and I love him. He's a great guy.
He loves Eddie Munster.
I wish I had met Al Lewis, which was the grandpa, or Herman himself. Fortunately, they just Fred Gwynn. But it's just one of them things that life doesn't give you the time to. Danielle's one of her friends is Scotty Schwartz from the Christmas Story, and I think he knows all them guys.
Oh, really? Who was this from the Christmas Story?
Scotty Schwartz.
Scott Schwartz. He played.
Was he the lead in the Christmas Story?
No, Peter Billingsley was the lead. Scotty Schwartz was the one that got his tongue on the pole. Everybody knows that.
Okay. Yeah.
But he always does these cons, the Comic Cons and the movie cons and all these other cons, and he's always there. And
you might have met him too.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy, and we're friends with him too. So we're trying to get more celebrities affiliated with us. But Dave, if you need anything ever, just contact us. We can always maybe set something up where you can be on our format too. I mean, I don't have a problem with that at all.
Oh yeah, and as soon as we get this new show going, I probably can get Butch to come on because he'll talk about anything you ask him.
And
Butch is a good guy too. Like I said, we talked to him years ago. He's a very, very cool guy, and love his stuff. The only thing is, I don't think he's ever did anything else other than the Munsters that where people remember.
Yeah, he's been. I think he's did like an episode of the Monkees. He was on a show with Marty and Croft when he was I think later in teen years. It was a real popular show.
Yeah, Sid, Marty, and Croft. Well, the thing is, unfortunately, when you get typecasted as Eddie Munster, that's all people know you for.
Oh yeah.
it's just part of life.
Which is good.
But I think he kind of looks at it now as like, it's a blessing
It is
because
a blessing.
everybody knows who he is, and he's a part of everybody's childhood. And, the great memories of all those great television shows.
Absolutely. I'll let you get back to DJ Danny. Thanks for the time, though.
No, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, David. I was going to say, though, we definitely want to make sure we make you, extreme too, where people know your name. Even if they hear David Merlin, oh, yeah, he was Psycho Jack. See? That's what you want. You want the comebacks. You want the people that relate to the characters that you played before versus what you have coming out. You always want to just make sure you have so much promotional.
Yeah, it's amazing. The celebrities that have been in movies, when they become popular, you know them then, but you can look back on their resume and they would have had these tiny, small parts in some of these old blockbuster movies, but you wouldn't even remembered them. And so, yeah, it's kind of cool that I can do all these different things. And, if I'm never a household name, that's okay. I still enjoy what I do.
I mean, it's so amazing that I get to talk to you for everything that you did. And you gave me the time today, and I'm greatly appreciative a lot for that, because you could be so busy building, your illusions right now, and you're taking the time to speak to me on Hamilton Radio. So we really do appreciate your time as well.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm actually today and tomorrow I'm building the Wolf coffin that's going to be on our tour.
Is it Wolfie?
So people can. What's that?
Is it Wolfie?
Well, it's called Wolf.
Wolf. Okay.
And yeah, so it's going to be in a wooden coffin, but the front half of the front is going to be like unbreakable plexiglass, so people can get a photo op with it and everything, because it was a very famous doll.
That was the doll in the Munsters, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to be working on some people remember the opening of the sequence of the Munsters where, I don't know if it's the opening sequence, but there was a dinosaur that lived under the steps, under the staircase, named Spot. So we're going to have an illusion in the show that involves a big staircase and something underneath it. So, not going to say what it is yet, but
no, I don't want you to
be part of the show.
I don't want you to give out any details.
Munster fans will enjoy it.
Well, if it definitely comes to around New Jersey, but we're just waiting on all your details and stuff. Where can people find you for your information and your promotion, David?
Yeah, everybody can go to David Merlin, and that's Merlin. It's all one word, davidmerlin.com. And got lots of photographs. I got a couple of videos on there. Actually got a brand new 4-minute promo video, and also got a 2-minute video showing me sliced in half. So, yeah, go check them out.
Yeah, and find out who his character was. Everybody knows him from America's Got Talent. All your different bits that you have up there. Now, I know we have a little bit of time left as well, but I wanted to just ask exactly what made you want to start dabbling, just for fun for yourself, into ventriloquism. Was there a certain inspiration you got and you wanted to be it was a part of you that you wanted to try it?
Oh my gosh. I guess when I was young, I saw this girl ventriloquist, and she was so good.
Oh.
And I thought, wow, I would love to be able to do that. And I never really attempted it for years and years and years. But then when I was putting together the paranormal show, I wanted to have a really unique ventriloquist dummy in the show that could do a lot of things. And there was a movie that was called Magic, and it starred Anthony Hopkins.
Okay.
And it was about him as a ventriloquist magician. And if anybody gets a chance to see it, it's called Magic with Anthony Hopkins, and it's really a psychological kind of movie. And I wanted to put some kind of a dummy in my show where I'm not really seen, but where it's almost like the dummy is kind of animated on its own. So that's where being an illusionist and a ventriloquist, kind of helps.
Okay. No, yeah, that really does. But it's something else that you're excited to learn. It's something that you want to learn. It's not something that you feel pressured to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna go out there and be a ventriloquist like my friend John Peasy. He's a great ventriloquist. I mean, just
I've
it's
heard
not my
about him.
goal in life to do that.
Yeah.
I just love the art of it. I love ventriloquist figures and the way they work and the mechanics of them. I mean, if you've ever seen inside the head of one of these things, all the mechanics that they can do with the moving of the mouth, the upper lip, the eyebrows, the eyes, ears, nose, all these animations that these things can do. I mean, it's an art in itself. And which I got a great friend out in I think it's Oregon, and he's one of the best builders. He builds for Terry Fader, who's out in Las Vegas, builds a lot of his stuff. And I mean, I don't know if I could ever build one of these things, but they're so extravagant in the mechanics of them. So I was always fascinated with that. And of course, I was good at doing voices and throwing my voice.
Voiceovers.
Because my normal speaking voice is much different than like Psycho Jack or,
completely.
I did commercials for people, and they want British or Australian accents or country accents, different things.
So you're used to it, yeah.
That comes in handy that I can do different voices.
And I think that's pretty exciting, very amazing as well, because when you want to be known as an actor or, a musician, so far as a magician, you want to have so many different things that you can do, especially with throwing your voice. And I think that's a part of it where you can even incorporate that a lot into your routine and your shows, where even if you don't use, a puppet or anything for ventriloquism, you could still make it as an illusion and then throw your voice to make it look like, I don't know, somebody's coming, somebody's running. I don't know if you do any of that, but it's just something that I was just mentioning.
Yeah, I will probably never be your standard ventriloquist out on stage
There's
with me
nothing
just
wrong with
standing
that.
next to a
Yeah,
dummy.
have fun with it.
You'll probably never see that, but you will see the dummy as a part of shows in the future, a creepy dummy. Because another thing I've done is I've created Halloween haunts.
Okay.
Attractions.
Yeah.
For places that's really unique, and I actually use a dummy as kind of the storyteller of one of those attractions, and it's kind of the show that I'm going to be doing is going to incorporate some of this stuff in the future, because my ultimate goal is to get my own venue somewhere, and I've been thinking a lot about different places like Nashville or even Savannah, Georgia, America's most haunted city.
I love that.
To have a paranormal show where maybe it's very intimate, kind of big stage, but maybe only seats, say, 100 to 120 people, but everybody's up close and there's things happening to them throughout the show. They might be feeling something, being touched by something that's not there.
Oh, come on. That's so mean. That makes me get the heebie-jeebies right now, David.
Yeah, because I wanted to have a show that is amazing, funny, but yet scary at times. So I want to combine all those elements.
Okay.
So that you almost have to have your own theater to be able to pull off some of this.
Yeah.
And I actually want people to be able to see apparitions and things like that.
For everything.
So that's kind of my dream right now, to get a permanent venue.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and that's your next goal after after you're done touring with Butch and you get everything all set up. You're looking to create your own theater or venue where you can have your own show with what you're looking for, but you want to have it be super, amazing watching you, and then the audience feels scared at the same time because there's things happening around them or near them or to them.
Yeah. It might even be that we incorporate this show in a permanent venue with myself and Butch with the Munster and Merlin show.
That would be amazing.
So it's kind of all up in the air. We don't really know what's going to happen. We'll get this tour going and see how the reception is, and if all goes well, I mean, there's no telling where it could end up. And it may be that we just enjoy the road so much that we stick to that for a long time.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with either opportunity or option for that. But I wanted to ask you as well, David. Are you a fan of Chris Angel, or do you know of Chris Angel?
I was not a fan of the television show, really.
Okay, good.
But I have seen his new live show in Las Vegas, and it's probably one of the greatest extravaganzas I've ever seen.
Did you
I'd
see
have to say that the best I've ever seen, of course, David Copperfield's show is great.
Yes.
And Siegfried and Roy probably had the biggest spectacle that I've
you
ever
got to
seen
see
with the white tigers and the elephants and the horses, and I mean that was amazing.
That sounds.
If anybody ever got a chance to see
I
Siegfried
never
and
got
Roy,
to see it.
but yeah, if anybody ever gets a chance to go see Chris Angel in Las Vegas, they should definitely do it, because it is one great illusion show, and he's kind of like a rock star magician.
But that kind of reminds me a little bit of you. Like, seriously. You know, what you're looking for and what you're trying to do. I mean, you're branching out and doing more things that you want to do, like Paranormalist and Haunted, and that's amazing. But it's super exciting and thriving and thrilling that you should try to collab or reach out to Chris or his brother JD. I have the connection because he was on my show, where you guys can do something together also, even if it's just for both of yourselves and the fans, and then, you know, you grow more success from it.
Well, I mean, I don't know if Chris kind of stands alone, and I don't think he is one to form that type of a partnership. But it might be that he becomes involved in a project.
That too.
It's where he might be like an executive producer for a certain kind of show, and you know, it could come a time that we might reach out to him if we want to do something and maybe have him help produce. But I don't know. We'll just kind of see. We're just going to play it all by ear right now. And but sometimes, you know, when you work with other people, they have a different vision.
Yeah.
And
what you want.
And sometimes it's not exactly what you want to do.
Very
so,
true.
Like with me and Butch, like this whole project we've got going right now, we're both, you know, thrilled because it's so different. Nobody else is doing it.
It's something
different. We both bring something different to the table.
Yep.
And of course, he brings that monster name to grab the attention. And then, and of course, then when people see my show, like if you go on my website, you'll see the caliber of what I do.
I have, and that's why I want to see you live. Yeah. Or in or video, you know, like up close magic or something. Just super exciting to just, you know, talk to someone and everything, but seeing the magic is probably the best thing. It's so mind blowing. I'm just telling you that. Like, it's boggling to me.
Yeah, some of it seems very, very real, especially some of the stuff I'm doing now. Yeah. And I'm working on some new stuff. So hopefully that'll be ready for this tour.
I am super excited to hear more information and everything that you have going on. I mean, even with this tour that you have coming up, you please make sure you keep me updated, whether or not you want to come back on the show with Butch, or you know, just to promote when your tour is up and your dates and everything once we get, you know, the okay with everything due to COVID.
Yeah, I'm sure we can probably get Butch on the show as soon as we, you know, start locking down some dates, and then we can talk about it. Cause
yeah,
he'll be great for you to talk to. Well, he's a fun guy.
Yeah, and I really appreciate your time again, like I said, for everything for this interview. I mean, I just want to make sure that everybody understands an amazing magician that you are and everything that you do, and what else you bring to the table, and what you have upcoming. You know, even though you have this tour still in the works because of COVID and everything that you have going on, but besides it, you are building all your illusions still, you know, keeping yourself busy and selling your illusions and driving to people. So I think you have an amazing heart. You're very warm-hearted and such a giving and caring person, David. I mean, you deserve the world.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're such a sweet person for everything that you've done. Like,
well, that's, you know, I grew up in the South, and it's just kind of who we are, you know.
Yeah.
As Southerners, we're just very humble people.
Mm-hmm.
So most people would never know what I do because I don't really go around and tell people what I do.
And you don't have to, you know. It's just the way that your heart is. Your heart's in the right place.
Yeah, and I think because I've got an autistic niece that I pretty much helped raise.
Oh,
Um, she's 24, but her mind is more like of 10 or 12. So
God bless her.
I've been in her life, since she was born,
Oh,
and just she bonded heavily to me. So I've pretty much helped raise her, and I took her all over the
I
country, and
love that.
she's got to meet a lot of
Very
people, and
dad-like. Yeah.
yeah.
Super
So
caring. That's
yeah,
very
I got a
sweet.
big heart for the kids, and
Mhm.
special needs kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also even model for autism.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm also part of a brand that's actually called nonprofit Morgan Marie Michael Foundation, and we raise money for the autism spectrum.
Oh, okay, great.
So I'm also, a part of that and everything, just to help bring awareness and let everyone know that we're all human, and don't yell at them. Just be very sweet and kind, and just be there for them, take care of them, nurture them, in any way they need it. And I think it's very sweet that, like I said, you're being a dad figure to your niece. I find that so sweet.
Yeah, I mean, she's very important to me. She's, I guess, what they would call kind of high functioning autistic. So
Hmm.
very smart, and just a sweet, sweet kid. You look at her and think she's probably 16, 17 years old, but just the young mindness. But so I guess she'll always be trapped in that kind of mind, which
Yeah,
in a way is a good thing,
it
because when
is.
we were
But
young
you
like
can
that,
always.
we had no worries.
Oh, yeah. Talking about back in the day where there was no stress when we were little. I understand.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand completely. No,
Yeah, so she lives in that world. So I mean, that is the bonus, and she's just a sweet kid. So
and just make sure it's always happiness, happiness, positivity, nothing upsetting or depressing. Just
yeah,
always
yeah,
uplifting, basically.
yeah. Well, she always says I'm like the world's best uncle. I mean, she's
Oh,
been to Las Vegas twice with me, and Orlando probably 10 times.
I love it. Yes.
Everywhere. Got to meet David. She met David Copperfield, and
She is your biggest fan.
yeah, oh yeah.
She sees your shows.
I've had to sit through 3 Justin Bieber concerts.
You are a
I've
strong
seen
person.
Britney Spears. I mean, you name
Okay.
it. Katy Perry. I've seen all these pop stars because that's what she loves, and
Ariana? Have you
just
seen
try to make her happy.
Have you seen Ariana Grande yet?
Sure have.
Okay.
Yep.
I would bet. Yeah. Or Fifth
Yeah.
Harmony?
Who?
Fifth Harmony?
Fifth Harmony.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
seeing where her mind is, what she listens to, but it sounds like the radio.
Yeah. She's a. Let's see. Her biggest crush is pop star Austin Mahone.
Oh, wow. My gosh. He still has music coming out, so he's definitely making a comeback, but I have not heard that name in a few years.
Yeah, she was kind of stuck on him for a while, and she was big into Justin Bieber till he kind of started going on the wild side.
I
She was
understand.
more into like the first tour of Justin Bieber,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, that was huge for her. I
Oh,
mean,
man,
you would have
Austin
thought.
Mahone. Yeah, then there was like
I mean,
Cody
her
Simpson
reaction when
and
he
Chrissy
came out,
Chance.
that was just priceless.
Well, I love that. What about Charlie Puth?
She hasn't seen him. I have. I actually saw
Okay, he's
him
amazing.
do kind of an unplugged thing at one of the haunts I did. They had one of these radio shows in Birmingham, Alabama.
Uh-huh.
The station had what they call a just show up show,
Uh-huh.
and just people pop out there into into a field, and it's either just the music is, there's no band, it's just pretty much karaoke, but they actually sing. And he came out, and at the time he had like a beard and mustache when he came out with an acoustic guitar. I didn't even know who he was for a minute.
Oh, okay. Was it a disguise, or he had a beard and a
I,
mustache?
I think it was Charlie Puth at this one.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was him. But I think he just grew it out, and then it was kind of bizarre.
Okay.
It looked like a hippie from Woodstock or something.
I love it. No, he has amazing music too. But I wanted to also ask you, David, because you're a huge David Copperfield fan. Do you also like Penn and Teller?
Yeah. I like anybody that's different, and they're definitely different at what they do. I've
Just the
been
fire.
to their show a couple of times,
Yeah.
and hopefully maybe in the next year or two I can get on their television show Fool Us and see if I can fool them.
Oh man, yeah, you definitely should. My friend Jabrizi, he won. He was on their show, and he was actually on my show, as well.
Okay.
Jabrizi, I'm not quite sure if you heard of him, but if not, I could send you his video where he won. See?
Yeah, I've seen a few of his things, Close Up Magic. Yeah.
Yeah, he does he turns $1 into 100 in front of people. It's so unfair.
Yeah, that was one of the first tricks I ever learned. So.
You should always do that in front of your audience. Just make somebody happy and give them $100.
I would probably borrow the 100 and turn it into a 1 and give it back to him.
I bet you would. That's not fair, though. Oh my gosh, David, I really appreciate you giving me the time today. Just to reach out, get to know you better, have your fans, friends, family talk to you, get to know you better. Just very informational. Super excited for your tour that you have coming up. Please keep us all updated.
Yeah, as soon as we can start getting dates. It's just, one of those things with this happening right now.
Yep.
That
it's a little hard.
People aren't committing to things. So I've never seen anything like it. It's just so unusual to not be working.
Yeah,
after all these years.
Or, not to mention, walking outside or anywheres and you need a mask. That's just the most annoying thing to me. It's like a pet
a little
peeve
different
now.
Here because, we're more spread out than you guys are in New Jersey.
Yeah.
We got a much bigger state than you got, but a lot fewer people.
All right,
you've
so
got
I need to move to
millions and
Alabama.
millions of people.
Yeah.
I think Alabama is maybe 5 million, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's a lot, and it's a big state, but not that many people. Like I said, my hometown here is about 13,000.
Oh, wow.
And everything's spread out.
Well, David, I just want to say thank you so much again for your time. If you can,
absolutely.
real quick, before we end the show, give out where everyone can find you, your social media again.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook under, I've got a new page, David Merlin, the Paranormalist. And also my website is davidmerlin.com. And yeah, go on there, shoot me an email.
Perfect.
Or go on to Facebook, David Merlin, the Paranormalist.
And before you go, may I also get a radio tag from you?
Sure.
Okay, so you're going to say your name. If you like to say David Merlin, an entertainer and paranormalist or whatever you want to promote. After that, you're going to say you're listening to the DJ DANI show.
Okay.
And then the second one, there'll be 2 takes. You're listening to Hamilton Radio.
Hamilton?
Hamilton Radio.
Okay.
And whenever you're ready.
Hi, this is David Merlin, the Paranormalist, and you are listening to the DJ DANI show.
Love it.
And hello, this is David Merlin, the Paranormalist, and you are listening to Hamilton Radio.
Oh, perfect. Listen to the vibrato in that. Awesome. Thank you.
I could have did it as a British guy, but
whatever you want to do, whatever makes you feel more comfortable. We appreciate any way that you can.
I just normally do that for voiceovers for radio commercials when they ask me to.
That's why I was like, it's perfect, because the way you said it was just perfect. So I just want to say thank you so much. I will keep me updated, stay in touch, and we will stay in touch to find out what's upcoming, what's going on. And if you ever have anything that's upcoming in the future where you might have an event coming up, in a couple of months, reach out to me, message me, let me know, or call in on this show any Tuesday and promote it. You have the opportunity, you have the permission. Whenever you want, just call in.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate it.
Or message
That's
me
fun.
it, and then I can mention it if that's easier. Because sometimes, you're driving. Don't want you to drive on the phone or anything.
That's true. That's
So,
true.
David, thank you
Well,
so much for tonight. I really appreciate it.
yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it myself.
Thank you. And I shared the
Okay,
Facebook
Danny.
Live with you, but I'll send it to you on Messenger.
Oh, okay, well, sounds great.
Thank you so much. Have a
Well,
good night, everyone.
All right, Danny, you take care.
Thank you so much, David. All right, bye.
Okay, bye-bye.